Hey everybody, welcome to Snow Talk. This is Wave 3 News meteorologist Brian Good. This is a new version here of our Snow Talk graphic. I hope you enjoy that. We'll keep the stats all the way displayed all the time on the screen there for you guys. Then we'll get into the outlook with the Twix bars at the end. So we're changing things up slightly. All right, start you off with a look at the satellite and the radar there. You can see the snow showers. So you got a nice little coating of snow. Melted away in some cases rather rapidly, especially when the sun comes out. Most of us just saw it just kind of blow around the roadways and really didn't amount to much. And they're starting to ease off here for this afternoon, but still some more flakes will fly all the way through the evening the way it is beginning to look outside. Look at those winds, gusting at times of 23 miles per hour. All right, temperature. Right now Louisville's 27 degrees. Hints of sunshine have warmed us up enough to get into the upper 20s. Still 23 in Salem and 25 in Hardinsburg. As we do Futurecast tonight, here's what's interesting. You know, the models the past couple of days were hinting that by tomorrow morning we would see temperatures very close to 10 above here in the city. Now the data is backing off that idea because of the wind and a little more cloud cover than first expected. So we may have to raise the low temperature for tonight. We'll look over some more data before we make that call. But tonight may not be as bitterly cold for this first wave than it did look like before because of the clouds and the wind. Still, going to be a chilly night, though. I think teens will be more common than anything around the area. Now, as we head into Saturday, we will see temperatures on Friday, by the way, warming up into the 30-degree mark. And then Saturday, Valentine's Day. Here's a little bit of a change here. We're expecting us to start off with temperatures in the 30s. The actual Arctic front for Saturday, for Valentine's Day, we've been talking about so much, has slowed down enough now to where we'll start off not that bad through the first half of the day. But the Arctic front will then drop down into the afternoon. Look how we drop at Seymour down to 20, still in the lower 30s, hanging on tight here in Louisville, and that drop just keeps going all Saturday night. So Saturday night still looks to be cold around here with potential for single digits. We've been going with 5 above. We may have to raise that even because I'm seeing signs now that because of the slower front coming into play, the timing of the stronger winds may last a little longer as well, and some cloud cover at times. So we may not get overly cold. Still, single digits, I think, are a good bet, but the record of 3 above is looking more and more on the safe side. Now, you don't factor in the wind. You got to do that now. When you factor in the wind, this is what you get. As we head into Saturday evening, at that point, we should be either at or below 0 for a wind chill. Gets worse by the midnight time frame, and then Sunday morning, wind chills 10 to 15 below. That has not changed at all. Again, there's a catch-22. You have wind around. The wind keeps you from dropping the actual temperature on the thermometer drastically, but the problem is that same factor of wind adds more than to the wind chill. So give and take there. Either way, cold, all right, for Valentine's Day into Sunday. So here's what we're tracking. We've got this wave that's going to come through tonight that's moving through the area now. It's already beginning to break up some of the cloud cover, so the flurries fading away. Here's our front for Saturday up here to the north. It'll drop down as well. There is still a good chance we're going to see a burst of snow Saturday afternoon with the afternoon time period, and it could even mix with rain because of the idea we could warm to the 30s before the front crashes on Saturday. Our southern counties could actually see a little bit of rain or drizzle, and then you go over to snow. So we may have to add that into the forecast too, which is not good because you add that in, it's going to add a little bit of a glaze to the roads because it's going to be a flash free scenario for Saturday night. But we'll watch the snow burst on Saturday. They have a good chance to whiten the ground, give some light accumulations. And then after that, we then look all the way to the west for our messy setup for next week. And as we've been stating, despite what you may hear elsewhere, we are not giving out snow totals, and I am not going to show actual model data on the snow event itself. I don't think it's plausible to at this point. There's too many parameters, and I'll explain because, as I mentioned before, we've got energy now that's moving into southwest Canada. There's another little jet streak that's around the base, too, that'll really kick this in the next 48 hours. At the same time, hard to see if there is a cutoff low here to the south. That moisture is going to get interjected as well into the system when it dives down to the south and east. It looks like a lot going on, and that's because there is a lot going on. And now it's looking more and more likely we're going to have not one, but 2 separate pieces of energy that could get involved here. Are they going to combine into one big storm, or are they going to come into 2 smaller storms, if you will, for Monday through Wednesday of next week? And the models are really struggling with that, as to be expected, as we get into time. Let me draw it out for you again. We're waiting for the energy to drop down from the south. And the model trends today, for those of you that follow them, has been to eject the weaker piece out first. When you do that, you actually keep it colder in the Ohio Valley. That also allows the second piece to dive more to the south, then cut to the north when you have an ejecting piece like that. So a lot of you saw the model saying, the storm's going way down to the south now. And that's the reason why. It's seeing a lead wave that comes out first that's weak, but what it does is it forces the second one then to come in lower or further south behind it. But I have to stress, if the model is wrong and there is no first lead wave, just one wave that comes out, then you got a whole different scenario that rolls out into our neck of the woods, and we can't take that off the table just yet. I will say this. Given the Arctic high pressure and the one that's here this weekend, the one that's coming behind us, the chances of this storm cutting to the north is very slim. Much more slim compared to the one in Chicago. I'm not rolling it off the table completely. It's naive to do that. But I just see so much energy involved coming out of the plains, or the southern plains, and so much cold air energy to the north that a track in this direction is making more and more sense. But a difference of a few hundred miles either way completely changes the outcome for Kentuckiana, and we're just not going to know that until at least Friday night or Saturday at the earliest. If you saw the GFS, I just wanted to show you the differences here in the GFS. This is looking at the 500 millibar. Last night, it was showing the Arctic air moving through, but it was really digging in the energy air across the southern plains. And then today, you don't see as much digging. You get more of that lead, weaker wave that comes out, but you get a much stronger push here of that Arctic air that dives down, and that suppresses the energy to the south. So that's the reason why a lot of you saw a lot of that action today going to the south, if you're wondering. It's stronger with this feature compared to what it was last night. And that's not to be shocking at all. I think it's to be expected, really. So what I'm going to show you now is the ensembles. And this is what I think is fair to show, because we have each computer model, the GFS, the European, the Canadian, they all have one particular idea that they spit out every day that you guys see passed around on social media. They also run several different solutions. The European runs 51 of them. Ideas, possibilities that could come out. Now, you only see one usually displayed on a lot of the computer models when you go to those websites, but there are many options to each model. This is the GFS. It's mean. It's a mean solution. Of all those different ideas, it says the surface low is going to be found more across southern Alabama. It's very close to where the actual model came out with the track today, and it's still not a bad track, really, for us when it comes to wintry weather. The Canadian, slightly more to the north. The actual surface low, though, when you look at the actual model, is down here. The ensembles, though, are not that far south. They give a lot of wiggle room here. You see how it's pretty elongated because it's not really sure where to put the low pressure, which isn't surprising. So my point in this is that we don't know yet. We've got to get all the players on the field before we really can figure out how strong is that Arctic high going to be when it moves into the United States Monday and Tuesday. And are we dealing with one wave, or are we dealing with two waves? Or the timing on each one of those. That's going to be a big headache for us, guys. And so please be patient with us. The potential is there by all accounts. This could be a fairly significant winter storm for the southern half of the country. We just do not know where our area lies within that potential just yet. And for snow lovers, I know you're anxious. You want to know right now, what are the possibilities? And that's the best answer I can give you right now, is that it still is just a chance. All right, that's it for right now. We got more data to go through this afternoon. We got to get through these snow showers and the cold weather for the weekend. And FYI, I will be here on Valentine's Day working, so you'll see many updates from me on Valentine's Day. So make sure to check out the weather blog. I will do a snow talk on Saturday as well, and hopefully with some really good data. So don't give up yet, snow lovers. There's still some hope. When we look at the Twix bar category, I'm not going to raise it. I'm going to leave it the same at 2 Twix balls for right now until I get more data. You see the differences we're seeing in just 24 hours. Saturday, half bar, 2 for the system next week, and then there's another one right on its heels, and that one looks decent, but that's all I can say right now. All right. Clear as mud. Had a feeling.